Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about dynamic poses, specifically for creatures. Now I'm doing a humanoid right here, so those of you that are not familiar with what a humanoid is, it's a little bit of a human, but mostly creatures. So it's going to be a little strange, and you're going to look at it and go, huh, that's kind of creepy. Yes, I'm drawing a creepy creature that could probably go in Dark Souls or Silent Hill or even Dead Space. So let me explain what today's lesson actually is. Look at your sketchbooks right now. Do you have characters in there that you can't figure out why they're stiff? Now I've gone over this before on my channel. Ask yourself, are they stiff? And then study it and be like, what is it about these drawings that I just can't get right? We've all been in that boat before. First things first, whenever you do a figure, do not jump into detail first. If you have a boring figure that looks like it's too stiff, the head is looking at us, the feet are all pointed in the same direction, you definitely want to avoid that. Instead, you want to add a little bit of chaos to the mix. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what actually do I mean by chaos? So notice here how the face of this humanoid creature isn't looking directly at us. It's looking slightly away, and we are wondering what this creature is actually looking at. So you can make this both intriguing and you can make it scary, but also you can make it believable at the same time. All right, so as I'm drawing this, I put the eyeballs in and I put the slit for the mouth and very, very little detail for the face. I'm just indicating where everything is. I'm not actually jumping into detail yet. So if you're sketching along with me right now, see if you're doing the same thing. And if you're not, look at each limb. Okay, are both limbs doing the same thing? Are both feet doing the same thing? Chances are you're probably already on your way to making a boring drawing. A lot of this is subconscious because we tend as humans to want things to be orderly, which is why it's so hard to draw people. Because there's a lot of things about our bodies that we need to study figure drawing all the time just to learn 50% of it. And when it comes to creatures, you got to do the same thing with animals too. All right. But right now, I'm making sure that there's energy from head to toe for my creature. Now, this is a humanoid, so I have a little bit of creative freedom as far as how I want to bend the limbs and how this thing might be walking. The hands are probably going to be larger. I want to make sure that the fingers are spread out and they're not boring looking. I want to make sure that there's movement everywhere, as if this creature is looking around a corner. I want to make sure that the creature is pushing off the ground or making it look like, they're pushing something out of the way. I might even give it a weapon. I don't know. As a matter of fact, why don't we give it an indication of some armor, but not go into too much detail on that. All right. So the center of mass is the one thing that I want to talk about. Now, if you're not familiar with what the center of mass is, the center of mass is the balance point. If you were to draw a line straight up and down, that would balance the creature or character so that it would not tip over. All right. Now, there's probably other explanations from other artists and instructors about what center of mass is, but they're all going to tell you the same thing, just in a different way. So you want to keep your figure or your creature balanced. All right, so now that I'm pretty happy with that face, I can go in and just put some more details in because I know I'm not going to want to erase anything in there. I'm just going to indicate where that neck is. I might give it a little hunchback too, so why don't we put some like disgusting like poison sacs on the back. Yeah, this is totally Dead Space. I love Dead Space. I think that it's an amazing game, very scary. The concept artists for Dead Space are they're wicked good. Just the whole atmosphere for that game. So notice, the head is not looking directly at us. So make sure that your character's head in your portfolio or the project that you're working on is not looking directly at you. It can but most of the time it's going to be pretty boring. The second thing, make sure that you're adding just a little bit of chaos into the mix. Okay, make sure that each limb isn't doing the exact same thing. Make sure the feet aren't pointed in the same direction. All right, like for this is, it almost looks like what would happen in a werewolf transformation for the toes. Let's put some shorts on them. You got to put the other pant leg in there too, or the other short leg in there too. Okay. Now, also, whenever you're drawing something like this, make sure that you're keeping things loose. You want to keep things loose so that you're not spending too much time into making things perfect. There we go. So comment below if you're sketching a character right now, if you're coming into this for the very first time. I love reading that kind of stuff. It's so much fun, and I like reading stories where people were surprised that they actually started drawing for the first time. I love that kind of stuff, because then they basically found a hidden talent that they didn't know they had. So we got to finish that leg over here too. See how loose I'm keeping everything, everyone? And the center of mass is right here. So when you look at it, everything on this side of the body, okay, all the weight is being pushed on this front left leg. And then the right leg, it looks like as his body is moving this way, or its body, I don't even know if that's a he or she, as it's moving this way, this one is probably having less weight on it, with a huge hunchback and who knows what back there. Probably like poison sacs. I don't know, we didn't really figure it out before. It probably would have benefited if I made it a bit emaciated, but I think that's okay. So we're going to put the clavicle up here, and I'm going to put a big growth right on the throat. So I'm going to make sure to outline the jaw so that we have that contrast in there. So making your poses dynamic like this is a really good thing to practice in your portfolios. Well, no, hold on. Don't practice them in your portfolios. Practice them in your sketchbook so that your portfolio work will stand out. The tool that I'm using is a 4B from Faber-Castell. It doesn't really matter or which one of the B's that you draw with. It doesn't really matter. Just don't get too high up on the B's, like 6B, 7B, 8B, because you're essentially drawing with charcoal at that point. Remember, we are putting some light armor in here. I don't know if this armor is going to work, but maybe this creature still feels the need to protect itself. I'm just putting in some light shading, some sores or like poison sacs on the chest. You know, for being an emaciated creature, I guess he's got some pretty big muscles, but I'm just going to put some shading on the abdomen right here, because that abdomen is, you know, curling under. All right, so as I'm drawing this character, I'm realizing that the infected portion of its body is probably going to be that right arm. So I'm just going to put in some little spheres here and there to indicate maybe the virus and how it's infecting his body. It is kind of gross, but also it would explain his oversized right arm versus his left one. So if we put a weapon in here, maybe like this cool little mace, you know, we can put something sharp here. Something simple. Whenever you're designing this stuff, because I'm coming from a video game background, you know, concept art and stuff, you have to make the life of the 3D artist as easy as possible. The more clear your concepts are, the easier it's going to be for the 3D department to interpret your designs and sculpt them. So you want to make their lives as easy as possible. I'm probably going to go with a big toe here and then maybe little ones, because it looks better as not a cat foot. So I think I'll have to give it some extra love on the big toe over here, and then all the little ones. It's got a wide foot. So that's should be successful. There's actually technically not an ankle there, but you know, just for the sake of making this thing look pretty creepy and weird, let's just put one there. All right, and I'm going to darken up where the knuckles are. And this is a pretty quick sketch for this lesson, but I think in doing little sketches like this, you can definitely bring a lot of dynamism and power to your sketches. So let's analyze this again. The line coming through here is the center of mass. The center of mass is balancing the character. The head itself is looking off this way, adding interest, making us want to look over there. There's a lot of asymmetry happening. So if you look at the tilt of the hip, and then the tilt of the shoulder, the tilt of the head, and also the right arm larger, and then this arm is brought up. So there's a lot of shifting going on, especially in the stance. All right, now look at the stance. We got this front left leg about to bear all the weight as this creature slash character is pushing through enemies, or maybe, you know, brushing aside a door as it quietly sneaks through a castle or something. And then this right arm is the one with the large claws, so maybe this is the killing weapon, is just the claws. Not really sure what this armor is, other than maybe it needs to protect that forearm. Maybe there's, yeah, let's just put like a weapon on here, almost something like Baraka would have. But I guess Baraka from Mortal Kombat has it coming out of its skin, so it's augmented there. Don't want to rip off Predator, but let's just kind of put something in between there. So I'm going to draw emphasis on that front arm right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to darken around the eye sockets so that we really get to see the personality coming through, that evil feeling, that this thing is not human. All right, so now we got a lot of energy happening. So hopefully that you learned something today. Comment below and tell me if this method is working. Now, I don't expect you guys to just jump straight into doing crazy characters and, you know, overwhelming yourself. Start with the basics. Start with the large forms first. The details should be the very last thing that you put on a picture, regardless of what you're drawing, regardless of what I'm drawing right now. It's the last thing that you put on. Okay, but once you get the larger forms in and everything is accurate and correct, then it's okay to put in the details. Because you don't want to put details on something that's incorrect. Otherwise, the details draw emphasis to what is incorrect, and then we notice it more. So always remember that. There we go. So the nose itself is going to be casting a shadow. Let's point those ears. And then maybe put some little knobs. Kind of looks like Darth Maul. I totally did not mean to do that, but it is kind of creepy. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This was a lot of fun, and I just wanted to show you what's possible in, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of just sketching a larger character. It doesn't even have to be shaded like this. So take your sketchbooks, draw 5 or 6 characters today, and make sure that each limb, it has its own energy to it. Make sure that you have the center of mass. Draw that line if you have to. Make sure that the hips and the shoulders are slightly tilted in some way, and you're going to bring a lot of energy to it. All right, till next time, peace.